Right, I'm gonna give you a warm-up routine that is so fucking good, right? You will start seeing real changes and results literally less than 30 minutes from now, okay? This is not one of those videos where I tell you to hop into the training room and do your true combos 20 times in a row without missing, and you'll like somehow play good if you do that. Nah, that's completely bullshit. When you apply what I'm about to teach you, you will literally feel like you're playing the game in slow motion and everything is gonna be so clear to see. I promise you, you will play better, right? You will get real results. So this warm-up routine is kind of like for the guys who've never had like a warm-up before and they don't know where to start or like how to properly warm up. If you can't seem to play consistent at all, or like sometimes you play good, sometimes you play bad, sometimes you lose every single fucking game and you're confused on what the fuck is happening or like how do you play good, this video will give you answers to that. This is the same warm-up I started doing exactly 1 or 2 seasons ago to go from hard stack plat to 2200. I was doing everything wrong, always confused, and didn't know why I play so good some days and terrible on others. So I tried my best to understand what was I doing differently in the days where I play good. And after a lot of experimenting, I created a step-by-step routine that will make you play like a fucking god starting from today, right? Go ahead, like and subscribe right now, and it's a win-win for both of us. Step 0, sleep properly. Okay, I was planning on making this as a bonus step for the end, right? But then I realized how disgustingly important this is. Every single time I play bad, I'm telling you this right now, every single time you will play bad, it's because of this. I remember once I had a client who sent me like a massive paragraph about himself like not performing, and he was like asking for help of like, why am I losing every single game? This is so frustrating, I can't seem to rank up, etc. And he asked me for advice, right? And literally what I said to him, if you ever play bad, it's because of these reasons. And I sent him like a couple of bullet points, and one of them was not sleeping properly, right? And he said to me, oh fuck, I actually had a bad sleep night that day. And the next day he slept well and he literally went up the next fucking day, okay? So you have to sleep properly. This is above anything else, okay? If you don't sleep properly, nothing else in this video will work. This is why I said it's step 0, because it's not really something you're gonna do in the warm-up routine, but it's like the prerequisite, you know, it's before. There is a study that was done on an NBA player. I will not go too deep into it, but basically they tested his performance with a good night's sleep and with a bad one as well, and you can see the results here. Like I said, I will not go too deep into this topic because I know all of you motherfuckers are bored already. So yeah, just really quickly, man, just wake up at the same time, sleep at the same time, and sleep for at least 8 hours a day, preferably more, right? Now let's delve into the specifics and how to actually warm up, okay? Step 1, watch a tournament set. So this is the first thing you're gonna do, right? What people get wrong is that you don't really start by playing immediately. You kind of want to train your eyes a little bit, like kind of like an eyes warm-up, right? It's kind of weird, right? Just don't overthink it. Don't ask me questions. I don't know why, but this shit seems to fucking work, right? I tested it multiple times where I watch a tournament and then I play, and other times I don't watch a tournament and I play, and the results was always different, right? I always have seen like significant results when I do this, okay? Because you know, when you watch like a tournament set, for example, before playing, you kind of like adopt the same movements and rhythms as these players. So these players attack in very specific times, for example, when they are in a good position, when they have the advantage, etc, etc. They don't attack randomly. And so when you watch a tournament set before playing, you automatically adapt those rhythms and those patterns and you put them into your gameplay automatically without thinking too much, right? Make sure it's a tournament set and watch it preferably on mute as well. Okay, you want to focus on the players' movements, how they are attacking, when they attack, and keep like a track of one player. Look at them very closely and try to understand what's going on. When do they attack? How do they move, etc. Try to have like an idea of their patterns, right? Step 2, drink caffeine and spar a better player than you. So this step is the most important one after sleeping well, because this is the literal warm-up you're gonna be doing, okay? Once you're finished with watching a tournament, here's exactly what you do. You're gonna get yourself caffeine, like energy drink or black coffee or whatever the fuck. I like black coffee for myself. You can choose whatever it is. Then you're gonna go to the official Brawlhalla Discord server. You go to the looking for game chat, and you wanna find a player who is about 100 elo above you. Okay, you type that in the looking for game chat, and someone will message you within like 30 seconds or 1 minute, right? If you cannot find anyone, just hop into ranked. Okay, so most likely you will be able to find someone, and when you start sparring this player, play as if you are in ranked and try your best to win. Imagine as if you are like in a ranked session, okay? Let me explain why these two are so fucking good together and will make you play like a fucking god, okay? Caffeine simply makes your brain works better, you can see clearer, and overall have a better experience. And when you spar a better player, you adapt to them and you make less mistakes because they will punish you for the mistakes that you usually don't get punished for them, okay? So if you do these two together, not only you will make less mistakes and play good, but you will also have a clear mind when you're fighting your opponent, okay? It's very, very important. Now, here's the catch, right? It takes time for the effects to take place. So you see when you drink like your caffeine, right? It takes around 15 to 60 minutes for the effect to take place. For me, personally, I found that it takes me around 30 minutes for my brain to actually start like performing very well, and you will notice a big difference, a significant difference when you do this as well, okay? And then it takes around the same time for me to adapt to my opponent, right? To like the good player. So when you're sparring this player, you're waiting for these two effects to take place, and usually it happens when you start winning, okay? So you're gonna start sparring this player, you will lose a couple of matches, maybe the first 5 games, 6 games, maybe you'll get 2 stocks here and there, but once the effect take place, once you're warmed up enough, once the caffeine kicks in, you will start playing so good and you will start beating this guy who is about 100 elo above you. And when that happens and you start beating this guy that you're fighting, who is way better than you, you instantly leave, okay? You send him a message, I'm gonna play rank now, or you tell him like, I'm gonna play with a friend or whatever, and then you leave and go into ranked straight away. Step 3, remind yourself of your expectations and triggers. If you don't remain calm when playing ranked, you will not be able to perform at your best. And this is my goal here with this video. I want you to perform at your fucking best, your absolute 10 out of 10, right? So it's very, very likely for you to get a losing streak, even if you do the warm-up that I just told you about in the previous step, only if you do not manage your emotions, right? So this is a process that I explained in one of my previous videos. I'm gonna go very briefly into it right now. First of all, you start by identifying what triggers you the most, okay? Let's say, for example, you get triggered very easily by players who attack a lot, or maybe by players who use only signatures, right? You find what triggers you and makes you angry most of the time. Once you find that, the next step is saying a countering phrase in your mind to that trigger. So for example, if you get triggered by 6 spammers, you simply just say to yourself, I will not get angry if a 6 spammer starts using signatures right now. I will not get angry if someone throw out a lot of attacks. I will not get angry if I queue like a terrorist player or maybe an Olgrim player. I don't care about it, right? You simply just say something that counters what triggers you. And then next up, you have expectations as well. You want to find your expectation, identify them, and reframe them as well. If you expect yourself to win, but then you lose, you will get angry. If you expect your opponent to play bad, but then he wins the match, you will get angry. If you expect your teammate to play good, but then he play bad, you will get tilted. Okay, so you want to find out what kind of like expectation do you have and reframe them, okay? Most of the time people expect themselves to win way too many games. For that, I'm gonna say just foresee failure, right? And this is a process where you just understanding that it's possible to lose just as much as it's possible to win. Okay, and when you do that, it's very unlikely that you will rage. If you expect yourself to lose and then you lose, like, you're not gonna get mad, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a process that you can do to remain calm and increase your chance of focusing by quite a lot. Step 4, autopilot and focus. Once you do everything I said so far, there's one last obstacle you need to overcome. So what we're doing here is basically we're amplifying your ability to focus up and perform at your best. Okay, focus is what makes you stand out from everyone around you, because people in lower elo, usually they're not really that focused. Even in ranked, they are either anxious, they're either on autopilot, brain dead, using attacks that worked in the past but it doesn't work now. And so this is why you will stand out if you are the one who is focused. Okay, when you're focused, you find what works and what doesn't. When you're focused, you can identify your opponent's habits and take advantage of them. Okay, when you are focused, you know exactly why you're losing and why you're winning every single match without any confusion at all. So whenever you find yourself losing your focus, always have a reminder to bring it back. Let's say, for example, like you're attacking a little bit too much and you promised yourself that you're not gonna throw as many attacks in this match because you wanna think a little bit more about them instead of inputting them randomly. Simply what you do, the moment you find yourself throwing an attack, just be mindful of it and tell yourself, focus up, stop attacking, focus up. Okay, have a reminder, which is so for my case, I literally just say to myself, focus, focus. Literally just say that, and you are more likely to not play like a retard, basically. Because if you're like on autopilot, you don't know what's happening in a match, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know why you lost or why you won. Everything is just based on luck, because you have no control, you're not focused, you're not thinking about changing stuff, you know what I mean? So the more you repeat that process, the more you bring back your focus every single match, you will prolong how much time you can be present for. Okay, I hope you learned something new from this video. If it is, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that YouTube bullshit, right? And take action on this. You need to actually take action on the 4 steps that we just mentioned right here. Okay, you want to do them. Don't just watch the video and then you go play the game like a retard. No, no, no. Take fucking action on these things, and they will work. Trust me, they work. Okay, they worked for me, at least. I don't know about you, but it should. Like, we're both fucking humans, you know what I mean? So it should fucking work. Okay, if you want more help, very specific help to your situation, first link in the description. Get my coaching, give me your money, and I will help you get high diamond or whatever goal you have. Okay, see ya, bro. Have a good one.